Number 1, offshore. So if you know what the word shore is, then you can probably understand offshore. Shore is similar to the word coast, where the land meets the sea. That is the shore. That is the coast. So if it is offshore, it is away from the land, out in the water. Common uses of this word: offshore drilling. That is a word. If you read the news or something, you will come into they are talking about offshore drilling when they are drilling for the oil, right? Offshore in these huge, I don't know, what are they called? Just these offshore drilling sites, these huge things that they have built out in the middle of the water. Offshore wind turbines, like we saw in our video. Another common word, now this is a little different, offshore account. Talking about my bank account. Really, in that instance, it just means my international account or something like that. It's actually, my money is not in the ocean, right? But it means it's not. So then the word is used in that sense, in that instance, kind of like foreign account. So then you might hear like some offshore account for some criminal or someone who is trying to hide taxes or something like that, has an offshore account, meaning their money is not in that country. They are putting the money into another country for some reason. Number 2, pave the way. This means to prepare the way, to help set the way, to pave the way for someone or something that is coming. So to pave the way. What is a good example? If you know the Bible. Maybe you don't know the Bible. John the Baptist paved the way for Jesus, right? He helped prepare. That is a really good example. Or Martin Luther King. Was Rosa Parks before him, during, after? I'm not sure. Let's pretend that Rosa Parks was 5 years before Martin Luther King, okay, became famous. She helped pave the way for him. Actually, that's not a good example. There are other people. You do not know their names. Marcus Garvey, Booker T. Washington. Very smart, educated African Americans who helped raise African Americans' social economic status before Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King is the most famous one, but he would have not had success and fame if it wasn't for all of the other people who paved the way, who did the work that allowed him to do that, to pave the way. There's so many examples. Usually it's something like that, to pave the way for someone, and some successful story like that. How do they use it here? To pave the way for, so it's not always with people, like I said, someone or something. I'm trying to figure out how to use it. To pave the way for, she probably says wind technology or something. We'll get to it later when we do the reading. Number 3, strapped. So strapped means needy or wanting, like you don't have enough. So a lot of times it will be used with the word for. You can say, I'm really strapped for cash. I'm really strapped for cash. Means I don't have enough cash. Can I borrow some money? Or no, sorry, I don't want to go to the bar tonight. I'm really strapped for cash. There's other ways to say it. I'm broke right now. I'm broke. I'm strapped for cash. So strapped for cash. If you say after a hurricane, many families in Florida were strapped for homes. You know, they don't have enough homes. They are needy. They are wanting homes. You don't always have to use the word for. She just uses it as strapped. Oh gosh. Energy needs are gonna be strapped. So there's not enough. Number 4, to embark on, or in a lot of times they say embark upon. Embark on, embark upon something. To embark upon a journey. To embark upon a project. To begin, to start, but it's not like, okay, start your exercise. You would not say embark your exercise. It just is completely wrong. It's for something that's going to take a long time, something that's going to be important, to embark upon your new business venture, your new business idea, to embark upon that. It's to begin this process that's gonna take a long time, or going to be really special, or take a lot of work, or something like that. Number 5, reliant. This is an adjective. The noun form would be reliance. The verb would be rely, R-E-L-Y. If you are reliant, a lot of times they say on something, or reliant, again, reliant upon, reliant on. You are dependent upon it. You need it. You rely on it. You need it. Dependent on it. So here, she says, we're no longer reliant on, imagine a world where we're no longer reliant on non-renewable sources of energy. So right now we don't have that. We rely heavily on, we are reliant on fossil fuels, oil, stuff like that, dependent. I will point out, sometimes you might see the term self-reliant. You know, this guy, this woman, she is very self-reliant, meaning she doesn't need help. You know, he or she, I'm just using a girl as an example. She has her job and she lives by herself, and she does not need a boyfriend or whatever. Of course she can have just self-reliant. You know, I can take care of myself. I don't need help. And number 6, conceive. This one's a little bit difficult to describe, but it kind of means to form or develop in your mind, in your head. I mean, you could very, very simply say think or think of, similar to that. But it's more than that. You know, it's to form or develop some idea in your head. Here's an example sentence. The idea was finally conceived at a time when everyone was too tired to think. You know, so we have been working all day and we're so tired, and finally the idea comes together. This idea is conceived.
Would you like to imagine?
Not exactly. Not exactly. Like I said, this one is the hardest one for me to explain of the 6. Conceive. Like I said, very simply to think of, but there's a nuance that something is coming together in your mind. You know, some business idea was conceived. How does she use it? Trident Winds was conceived. So it is often used with businesses, you know. Finally I have this good business idea. These parts have been working around in my brain, and suddenly it comes together. It's formed. It developed in my mind. This idea was conceived like that. Actually, I'm pretty sure concept. It's related to the word concept, conception, conceive. Yeah, so concept is an idea, right? When that idea comes together, yeah.
Make a different form that comes to my mind.
Yeah. So it's usually used with ideas. Business ideas is probably the most common, the best way to explain it. Any questions about those 6 words?